if you haven't watched any of these before, I'm Grey Hunter. I'll be running this lot. We're using Fantasy Grounds program, but a bit of pre-warning, we're using a 2nd edition module for a Fantasy Grounds version 2 module in Fantasy Grounds 3. It's also through 4th edition, and we're playing 5th edition. So most of the stuff on this program just isn't going to work, and we're going to be running off like spreadsheets and stuff like that.
But it's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's got lovely fold-out things on the character sheets. Look at that, that's pretty. You guys didn't see any of that. So yeah. Shadowrun, if you haven't got a clue, is basically Magic Returns 2012 plus Cyberpunk. It's pretty much one of the craziest settings out there. And to make things worse, this lot have decided we're going to run around in Denver. Denver has got the wonderful situation of, if I bring up the sector map, being on the borders of no less than 6 different countries. So lots of border
so you got the small section where Aslan is taken over, then you have the Cass, and you have the Sioux Nations, the Confederate. Yeah, it's like split between 6 different places, and also has an independent sector as well, right in the center of it,
which is run by a dragon, not just
which is run by a dragon,
a great dragon. So basically,
maybe that's where my house is.
Yeah. So basically, the situation is one that if you're living in the Cold War Berlin, you probably look at these guys and go, "Ooh, I'm glad I'm not living there." So yeah, this could be very interesting. All right, so let's just go straight into character introductions. We've got another wonderful lineup of completely and utterly broken characters to show you.
It's not my fault.
No, in Shadowrun they're supposed to be broken. I'm fully expecting every one of your characters to be horribly broken in some way. So it's how the game goes. Right.
If you're not specializing, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Apostate, I think you're up first.
Or mistake.
Hi, I'm Apostate. I'll be playing Nova. I'm going to be playing a physical adept that doesn't do the whole melee thing. I'm an assassin. I sneak in, I shoot things, and that's about it.
Yeah. King of Braves.
Hi, I'm Egmir. I'm playing King of Braves. I'm going to be a giant robot.
You hope to be done.
Actually, I hope to be a small army of giant robots. I'm the ringer.
Yeah, which basically means he can physically become one with whatever he's piloting.
Whatever plurality of things I'm piloting.
Yeah. Moving on to Forever's character.
Hello, my character's name is Dynamo Danny Chekhov, and he's a technomancer, which means that he can hack into computer systems using only his brain, but also that means that there's a lot of people out there who want to take that brain and cut it open and see how it works.
That's never going to happen.
I don't need it.
Does everyone in the party know you're a technomancer?
Well, you know.
At least one of us may or may not be racist against technomancers.
At least one of you may find that you suddenly end up with a door shutting on your head.
Right, and I'm not going to let Gray segue into my character. I'm not going to let that happen.
No, just
I'm playing Big Truck. Big Truck is down with the animes, and he is a street samurai. He's an elf street samurai who's so good with his sick Hanzo steel.
Yes.
Also, he's full to the gills with Cyber and BioWare. So,
what's your essence said, by the way? I forgot. Is it like 0.4?
It's 0.41.
Yeah.
So you're somewhere between Adam Jensen and Travis Touchdown.
Mine is 0.9.
Yeah. So essence, if you haven't played Shadowrun, is basically how human you feel. The more machine you put inside you, the less human you feel. These two are pretty much one step away becoming full-on cyber zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, more like they're one step away from becoming dead, because when your essence hits 0, your soul stops thinking your body's alive and it leaves.
Yep. Just wanders off. Oh, is it all over?
My goal may or may not be to get my essence as low as possible while still being human, technically.
I could get it down to 0.01.
Yes, but at that point you would feel nothing, taste nothing, and just generally would walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the food in Denver? Tasting nothing is probably a benefit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably
but
preferable.
these guys have got take no joy in anything.
I don't know.
The only thing
I
that
have
makes
joy-
me feel alive these days are my animes.
I feel pretty good about giant robots.
Yeah, I'm about to say almost nothing. So yeah, most stuff, you don't care about food, you don't care about drink, anything like that. You have one thing you're focused on: giant robots and anime. So it's probably you should probably have a conversation with each other. That's probably about the only thing you can actually have a proper conversation.
Good thing there's a lot of overlap.
Every time this
Yeah.
comes up, I want to shoot myself in the face.
Same, but for different reasons.
All right, on to Axel Rose. I can't believe I had to say
Hey, I'm
that.
ablative. I'm playing Axel Rose. I'm our Decker, and it is my personal goal to kick Aslan out of this damn city.
Yeah, Aslan being the returned Aztecs, so blood magic, human sacrifice, all that wonderful stuff. They're the nice guys of the setting.
At least compared to the Indians.
Yeah,
No, they're still nicer.
yeah, the Indians are still nicer. At least they only had
Yeah.
one huge magic spell. Alright, so on to Mr. Cromwell. Is it still Cromwell or have you changed that? Oh yeah. That's silence.
Wait.
Late.
Late.
Hey, late.
Wake
Oh,
up.
this is a good start.
Guess he's late.
No.
He
Mike,
lives up to his name.
Mike has been muted for a very long time, evidently. Shush.
Oh, we're so good at this. We're so professional.
Playing
We are
as
the-
Oliver Ollyboy Cromwell. He does not like the nickname, but it has stuck.
It
And
was
yes,
David
that's a nickname
Frost.
on top of an alias. He is the troll, and he is a face. And yes, he is the troll face.
Don't. Fuck you.
Had to. He is
I'm gonna
here
beat the
to
shit
make
out of
as
you,
much
fucking
money
troll.
and get the fuck out of here. But and he's not a native. Well, U.S. doesn't really matter anymore. Not a native North American citizen.
That should
He's
actually
also
be
about as heavily armed as the Street Sam, so.
Oh, he isn't.
right. This is going to
I-
pop
I
up quite
may or
big
may
for you
not
guys, but it has to be to get the detail.
I also may or may not be more heavily armed than the Street Sam.
You don't count.
Yeah, you're not armed. Your drones are. So yes, this is the wonderful state of North America. As you can see, Denver, right there in the centre, Mile High City. So yeah,
Whoever drew these borders does not have any idea how, visible borders work.
Actually, I think these follow.
You say coming from a
rivers and
country where
stuff
some of your states are
significantly better.
literal squares.
Only one of them is a literal square.
Okay, but all of the states that are rectangles are the worst states.
Yes.
Pretty accurate.
it's like,
Counterpoint, Alabama.
Okay, yeah.
A lot.
Counterpoint, Mississippi.
yeah.
That's a counterpoint to your own point.
No, it was a counterpoint to Alabama.
Well, yeah, but it's still a counterpoint to your original point that all the square states are bad.
That wasn't,
Wasn't his point. That was forever.
Forever's point.
Points
Oh,
are bad.
well,
Who cares?
whatever.
Let's talk about.
Oh, I see that Quebec has finally seceded from the rest of Canada.
Oh yeah, Quebec is totally its own thing now.
yeah.
I'm sure they're very happy about that.
For a
Well-
while, one of the AAA,
They're French Canadian. What have they got to be happy about?
one of the AAA megacorps was actually in Quebec for a while.
Huh.
Then that one died. So rip.
Anyway,
I think I like the Pueblo Corporate Council's flag the best.
what? It's a bunch of feathers and a rising sun.
Yeah.
Well, the Ute Nation's just like one wolf howling. He's missing 2 wolves.
And a moon.
And a moon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a moon there. It's just yellow instead of...
Yeah,
Right, shall we get onto Little Truck?
probably.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Zebran, and I'm playing Little Truck. And contrary to the name, I'm actually the older brother of Big Truck, and that's probably the last you'll ever hear of it. I'm the mage of the group. They always say Geek the Mage, so I'm wearing. I'm a mage that has something called a self-preservation instinct. So I'm wearing fake chrome.
Are you sure you're a mage?
The fireball says yes.
Okay.
So my aim
And
is
if
to
I had
burn the
some-
mage out and burn the Technomancer out.
I mean, if I had incendiary grenades, I could throw fireballs too. So yeah.
And probably burn me out to
oh,
get rid of...
that reminds me. I also am the only person in this group that has pretty much nothing wired on me. I have a bow as a weapon. I am completely fucking backwards for some odd reason. I don't know why.
You're just rebelling against all this technology, and yet you're hermetic rather than shaming.
You're like...
Yes, I'm a hermetic mage, but I have no problem with the other side.
He's yeah. You weird hermetic mage with shamanistic
Tendencies.
tendencies.
Yeah, I have no problem messing around with Coyote. That would probably be my totem if I was a shamanistic.
Okay. So let's send you off to die horribly, shall we?
Yay!
You're all
Yay.
Shadowrunners, which means you're mercenaries for hire. You know, pretty much anybody who's got a horrible, dirty job that they don't want anyone to know about will hire you. It's dangerous, it's dirty, but on the good side, it pays pretty damn well. If you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's next door drilling. Sorry if you can hear that.
Oh.
It's not something howling
Can
in
you
the
not tell
background.
them to keep it down?
It sounds like whale calls, which is weird considering we're in Denver.
Yeah.
That
It
does
does
sound like
actually.
whale calls. I don't know, maybe there's
We don't know what
maybe,
the awakening did to whales.
Yeah, there might be an awakened whale walking downtown Denver.
Apparently so in the background. I love
That
how he's been
sounds more
quiet.
Eclipse Phase than Shadowrun.
He's been quiet all day. I love how he waits till I start recording to start drilling massive holes in his wall. Thank you,
He
neighbour.
thinks it's funny.
Yeah. Okay, so you're all having... Most of you have logged off from your terrible, terrible game. You know, all the Games Workshop stuff came out of copyright, and you know the quality's been dropping in those games ever since.
There was quality in them.
Yeah, 100 years ago. I'm really sorry about that. That's really weird, but nothing to do about it.
That sounds so weird.
Let me sing you the song of my people.
Mongolian throat singing is a very wonderful thing, trust
Yeah,
me.
the neighbours in your flat are up to something bloody weird, those hippies. Got the whales on again. They're probably trying to drown out your shouting at each other. Oh.
Well, we're still yelling about kill stealing bastards, so.
Sorry. Right, if I keep talking, maybe it won't be as noticeable.
Maybe.
So, has anyone
This is
been
off
watching?
to a wonderful start.
Yeah. Has anyone been watching the news today?
Fuck no.
We should-
No.
Right.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good indicator of jobs that might pop up.
Yeah.
Who watches the news? Jeez.
Which
Well-
news? I mean, I'm watching the Aztalan just so that I know how to fuck with them more.
Well, it'll be on general kind of like Denver news.
Well, since
There's
I
5
live in the
different
downtown
stations.
sector, I've been watching the Dragons news.
Yeah, all dragon all the time.
Yep.
Everything is like how Ghostwalker, which is not the dragon's actual name, it's just what everyone started calling it, and the dragon's just not corrected anymore.
And various soap operas like Quit Dragging My Heart Around.
Yeah. Of course, you can always get hold of Neil the Orc Barbarian.
Yeah.
It's in its third reboot, but it's still going strong. Okay, if you've been watching the news, it's currently the big news is that Carl Lembecker, who's a high-level Ares executive, apparently brutally murdered his wife this morning and then fled the scene. He's currently wanted by Ares, obviously, and most of the police are on the lookout for him. At this point,
Ares jobs are.
Yeah.
Ares jobs are usually pretty reliable, so that's an idea.
Yeah.
At this point, you all get a nice ping in your comm link from. Let's just randomly pick one of your fixers.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
come on,
crap, I
come on.
didn't get my
So,
notes.
come on, baby Felipe, baby Felipe.
No, I'm afraid it's. Oh no, it is baby Felipe.
Yes.
I didn't expect that.
The dice are strong in this one.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes, I
god.
love it.
Okay, so baby Felipe is your dwarven fixer. He's a little unstable, shall we call him?
Let's call him Surprise. Beams come out of his eyes.
Yeah.
He's got a level 20 half-orc fire mage.
Oh god. Damn it, you're gonna have to link this in the game.
No, why?
Luckily, in this case, it's just a message. Rather than actually having to physically
God, we
speak
don't
to
have
him.
to actually talk to him.
No, you don't actually have to talk to him.
Good.
But no, he's basically pointing you towards a potential job. He wants you to hit up the Cornerstone Bar, which is kind of like a mid-level dive. It's a safe house, considered. Everyone keeps the peace there, corp and gangs alike. And anyone who tries to make trouble at the Cornerstone tends to learn that the room is full of heavily armed people who don't like people making trouble. The standing thing with Lone Star is that they dump the bodies at the edge of the safe zone, normally in the same dumpster which Lone Star just checks every week. But yeah, he says meet Johnson there, gives you kind of a booth number, and sends you on your merry way. Says the patient may make it worth your while, but you're gonna have to work quick on this one.
Let's go.
All right.
Right.
All right, let's get in the rigor.
Please don't say that.
Rude.
That.
So are we assuming we've worked together before, or?
Well, we
Yeah.
were playing games casually together. I think we've worked
Oh,
together
yeah, I
before.
suppose.
Oh
right?
yeah. Remember?
Yeah,
we
I'm not
ended
gonna.
it
I'm not gonna
like-
do the you don't know each other thing. Yeah.
That would probably end poorly.
Yes.
No,
So, yeah.
Shadowrunners. There's a bit of professionalism expected.
Yeah. It means when you
Sorry, I was laughing at something entirely unrelated.
Sure you were.
yeah.
We can taste your sincerity.
But it does mean when one of your characters gets brutally killed, at least you can just kind of like put the word out to hire another one. It's it's the easiest system to replace characters. You just go, well, I think I've got a mate who can do that. Alright, so yeah, you all get in the rigger, drive off.
Yep.
Well, more like get picked up because of
Yeah.
lack of
Everyone
actual training.
everyone climbs in the Roadmaster.
Or you can go in your own stuff if you want, own vehicles if you want.
Yeah, he actually. Oliver doesn't have any vehicles.
All right, I can
Oliver.
bring someone else with me in my Honda Spirit.
So your brother?
Yeah, probably.
Yay.
Sorry,
I got 3 seats in my
I've been
truck.
neglecting to do my accent. I'm very sorry.
Oh
I can
no.
bring someone in my Honda Spirit.
That didn't sound all that different, actually.
Honda. Honda.
It's there.
You want to
It's
go
just-
to Costco?
Oh my god. Oh god.
Just smack him on the backside of the head and tell him to get in the car.
Just for general information, I've started this at the 1st of March, 75. That way you've got a full month to get your wages in for the cost of living.
And I was the only one smart enough to keep almost enough money to pay my rent.
No, I've got pretty much all of my rent covered.
Oh, okay.
I've got 6
My
months.
gun was very expensive. Okay.
I don't need that much money for rent, although I do need some money for rent.
I've got a month and a half. That's plenty.
Rent important.
Yes. Cost of living, yeah, you don't want it to drop down, especially for the healing rolls.
Yeah.
Okay, so you arrive at the Cornerstone. I mean, the drive is pretty uneventful. You get overtaken by an Orc Go gang at one point, but they're more interested in chasing down, what looks like to be a human police club in the back of a van. None of the bullets come your way, so it's pretty quiet.
To be fair, I'm driving a Roadmaster. They're not very fast.
Yeah, you're kind of plodding around long, really.
Since we decided to nerf my ability to make things go several times the speed of sound.
Yes, that was a thing that he did.
Yes,
God
because
damn these rules.
yeah, someone thought that.
That's as stupid as shit.
Yeah, logarithmic
Yes.
increase in speed is never going to get broken in a game with so many dice being thrown.
No, of course not.
So yeah,
I totally
Or-
don't need to make a vehicle go 30,000 miles an hour on the street.
This place is a shithole.
yeah, yeah. This is pretty standard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Luckily,
well,
you're all
everywhere
residents.
it's a shithole.
Otherwise, I'd be making you do the kind of acclimatization thing.
Yeah.
If you just moved into Denver because it's the mile-high city, you'd have to take dice penalties due to oxygen starvation. Pretty sure that explains quite a lot of your characters, but
That looks pretty similar to where I live now, actually.
yeah. All right, so you arrive at the Cornerstone. There's a big bounce. Cornstar. There's a big bounce on the door, but you basically just fire off the ID code and he lets you through. There's no gun search or anything like that because they know if you do anything stupid, everyone else in the bar will just geek you right there.
I do pat him on the cheek though when we walk in.
I'm sure they trust that riggers leave the drones in their car.
Yeah, bringing heavy artillery in is frowned upon.
I'm not bringing any of the drones with me.
No, you're allowed to bring pistols and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
My gun is
How
in
about my
its
two
case in the
swords?
Roadmaster.
What about my 2 swords?
yep, they're fine.
Good. Great. I
And
love
I'm
it.
sitting there with a friggin' bow on my back.
The,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
assault rifle stays in the car.
They just assume you're harmless, little truck.
It's a dwarf with a bow. Oh well. Again, anyone wondering why they've got an elf and a dwarf as brothers? When magic came back, people randomly started getting born as elves and dwarves. So it's perfectly acceptable for the genes to, kick out one of each.
Mhm.
By
better-
the way, I'm one
My
of
parents are probably both human, so
Yeah.
I'm one
Actually,
of what, 2
Didn't
humans
some
in the
people
party. I
just
think?
spontaneously turn into trolls and
Yeah.
orcs as well?
All trolls
Yeah.
and orcs, people just spontaneously turned into them.
you might have even started out as a dwarf and then all of a sudden turned into
No.
like a giant troll.
Only
No.
one meta type.
Yeah.
Other than
So basically,
what-
if you're already a dwarf and elf, you stayed as that, but the human population lost another large percentage as it turned into orcs and trolls. That still
Yeah.
happens occasionally, but it's getting less and less rare.
Common.
I mean,
more
more
and
and
more
more.
rare.
More and more rare, yeah. So basically, the genes for the metatypes didn't disappear, just they weren't active without magic around. The moment magic turned up, all the other races started popping back up.
Yeah.
Alright.
Also, just for curiosity, I think I'm one of 2 humans in the group. I think the other one
2
is
humans, 2 elves,
Dynamo.
1 of each.
I'm human.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 humans,
Yeah.
2 elves, and then a dwarf, an elf, and a troll. So pretty much all the basic metatypes covered.
Do we have an orc?
I
I
mean,
do.
I'm
I am
only
an orc.
technically
blade
a
of
human.
Decker.
Yeah, Deck is an
An
orc.
orc decker.
Oh, well then.
I'm playing against type.
Well, so is our
Most of
troll.
us are.
So is the troll.
So is the elf.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of moved off to the booth where you meet the Johnson, Mr. Johnson. It's always Mr. even if it's a woman. So basically, you're
We all
standing.
file into the booth.
Yeah. The booths in these places are built to take like huge teams, and they've got kind of like sound suppressors built into them, so anyone outside won't be able to easily eavesdrop.
Have I seen or know about this Johnson before?
You can
do.
make me check if you want.
All right. Let's see. Johnson.
Maybe you've worked together in the past.
7 dice.
That'd be area knowledge or economics.
Oh.
Be a
Damn it.
memory check, wouldn't it?
Only if you'd worked for them in the past, and you're all fairly new at this. You've maybe done 1 or 2 runs before, but you haven't really got a rep going.
I've got area knowledge danger, so I might have at least heard of her.
Yeah.
Let me roll that.
Welp.
Well, that's a
Nope.
good start.
Nope.
No.
So we have a
Can I make a knowledge security company's roll,
Yeah.
or would that not?
yeah, you can give it a go, but -2 for that because she's not wearing any security uniform.
Even though we know she probably works for Ares.
That's something.
Yeah, she's not a recognisable face, but from that you'll probably pick up that she doesn't look comfortable in the situation. So she's
What,
probably not.
surrounded her by 7 people that could probably kill her? Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty much a unusual situation. She's obviously not happy to be here, although she's trying to put on like a pompous, like overtones.
Not a regular Johnson, but got it.
Yeah, but not a reg. This is probably her first time.
Hmm.
When she's in there,
we got ourselves a cherry here.
she kind of activates the noise jammer, and the terrible techno music of the club kind of mutes out for a
Oh, I
second.
was jamming though.
It's still there. It's just it's kind of down to a background thump.
Oh, we're down to the oons, oons, oons
Yeah, I was waiting for my
sounds.
David to start hammering, man. So says, okay, I don't have time to mess around here. Any of you been keeping a track of the news? My employer is Mr. Lembecker. He was attempting to extract from his job to a more lucrative one this morning when things went a bit wrong. There was a firefight, his wife was killed, and he's been severely wounded. We managed to get him across the border and into a safe zone, but we need some assistance. She kind of flings you all a arrow, and information starts scrolling up on whatever visual displays you're using. These are his organs. As you can understand, Mr. Lembecker is he's still rich, but he was a rich member of the Ares corporation and had several clonal organs on standby for in case of an accident. Of course, we can now legally access those organs, and he's in rather nervous. And he needs a knee. She kind of settles herself down. That wasn't my actual stomach for once. He's in desperate need of those organs. We need you to go in. They're in this hospital here. This is the St. Obama Hospital. And
Sorry.
there's been two Matrix crashes. You can imagine what goes on. I will be dropping like terrible pop culture references as part of Shadowrun.
Oh, sorry. That was my fault.
Wait, what?
He got made a saint after he cured the Ebola epidemic. Just let it go.
What type it out was that?